in the Data Scholastic, on page 7 in the blue text, and this came up in several other articles, I was wondering why people would be so prejudiced against Muslims and why they would like say get out of our country. I'm not sure if that's insecurity or they're intimidated by them.
Adding on to what Jordan said, it said on page 9 of the Junior Scholastic Magazine, it said that 56% of American Muslims ages 18 to 29 said that they have been treated with suspicion, called offensive names, singled out by law enforcement, or threatened in the last 12 months. And I think that that's kind of a problem for America, and I think that we have to kind of go beyond the stereotypes, because it's true that not all Muslims are terrorists, and like they're not. So I think that
I don't know that it said like that was the biggest attack in like since like 2004 that ever happened in Paris.
I read in an article on the New York Times, it said that 129 people died during the Paris attack that one day.
In the article, like where all the people, the attackers were connected, the chief attacker wasn't Muslim. He was from Belgium, I think.
given that there was a terrorist attack 9/11, I think that it would put the whole country in like really scared to like go out. And I mean, just in Paris right now, the whole city is under lockdown, and like people are scared to go outside.
Jordan said how did they like sort of pull this off, and why did they go for like small, like just like random places and not
Maybe they wanted to make like a big impact and like wanted to make people feel scared.
Because also I think they just kind of wanted to get their name out there more. Like they're like, we should attack Paris because it's such a big known city. Like,
adding on to Noah, I think that would be too dangerous because we don't know what ISIS has stored. I mean, maybe we do, but we don't know the full extension.
It said in the video how ISIS started that it was like more organized than a terrorist group, and some people considered it like a light army. So
They probably attack like more famous places because they want legitimacy as a terrorist group.
Well, I had a question. It's kind of off topic, but why is ISIS making the videos and posting them on YouTube?
well,
I think ISIS just wants to be known and wants more people to join their organization to make their army bigger and stronger.
yesterday when I was like listening to the radio, I heard a lot of stuff like the way they were talking about ISIS, and one of the things they brought up was that one of the reasons that that ISIS is so powerful is because they have a lot of money from their oil, and
like the Muslims during the Paris attacks, I don't know why they committed suicide by strapping the bombs to themselves. Like, don't they know their lives matter?
with this suicide vest or whatever, they'll make like a vest and cover it in like explosives, and then they'll have a thing in their hand, and when they let go of it, it blows up. So that's what they would do in Afghanistan. So if they got shot, they would drop it and it would still blow up.
Bringing up Donald Trump, one of the things he said was, we should like bomb all their oils, but I don't really think you can just go and bomb that, because then we're going to get ourselves into like a huge war. I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
One of these New York Times articles, it said, how are the Paris attacks playing in the U.S. presidential campaign? And it says Donald Trump is stereotyping people refugees from Syria.
Like the person that like rules, or like the mayor of the state or whatever, was a Republican. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
It said that we had the leader of ISIS in one of our prisons, I think. So I was wondering if we had kept him in for the slightest bit longer, would we have avoided this whole thing? I was wondering if someone who hasn't spoken a lot had wanted to speak in the discussion.
In the growing up Muslim article in paragraph 3, it said something about a Quran. I was just wondering what the Quran is.
I think it's some, it says several verses of the Quran. I think it's some sort of religious book, maybe like the Bible.
Adding on to what Caitlin said, I think it's kind of like the Muslim version of like the Torah or the Bible, maybe.
It said that in growing up Muslim, in this article, it said that Muslim is like a good religion, but it's just the people that sometimes follow, kind of like Islam, do like make bad choices. I don't agree with him, because I don't think the U.S. can just go and bomb wherever ISIS is like military is, because it's just gonna make a bunch of like enemies with everyone.
And there's already some back and forth and some airstrikes and
Like, you can't really bomb Islam because that's a religion. But I think that you really need ISIS because
Said that they like spread up and they're not all in just one area. So like you can't just bomb everywhere.
And that's kind of what happened in Afghanistan once U.S. won. They started to mix in and the Taliban's came back. So
If we did do more if we did sort of a background check, I guess, on the immigrants, it would make it so that our country is safer.
I think that they should just check everybody before they go to the country extra hard, because who knows, there's never a 100% chance of somebody not being dangerous.
Very thoroughly, because you don't have to be Muslim to be a terrorist. You could be anybody. So I think that we should be thoroughly checking everybody, not just Muslims or people from India. Just thoroughly everybody. Even if you live in America, you should be thoroughly checked.
Sometimes, because there are things that people can do to make sure, like if you were to do a background check, to make sure that they would not be found, or they can change their information online. So I think that doing a background check might not work because there might be flaws.
I want to add on to Kayla. In the Paris attack, it wasn't just Muslims that were the terrorists. It was some people that were actually from Paris. So I don't think we should just be checking Muslims, anyone.
checking each of the immigrants on their background, in the articles, do we look like terrorists to you? I mean, just in my opinion, I don't think it would be right to just because if they're Muslim to check them.
I was wondering, do countries that refugees flee to from Syria and places in France, do they allow them to go into those countries legally, or do they just sort of go the back way without anyone really knowing?
Because the United States was going to move in 10,000 Syrian refugees next year, but Donald Trump is stereotyping them, saying that they're going to be terrorists, and he wants to halt those plans.
If someone else that was with a different religion that wasn't Muslim did something like ISIS, would we be afraid of their religion too?
There was a recent poll that said 27% of Americans view Muslim Americans favorably.
And they didn't really expect those people to be terrorists just because they were from that country. I think that might be one of the reasons why they slipped through.
People were sort of stereotyping her because of what she looked like, and I was wondering why people always resort to stereotypes before to judge people, not just how they are.
I think that it's because they're upset about what's going on in the world,